In this age of AI, you wouldn't think saying please or thank you to a machine would cost much.
Right. Seems absurd.
But get this, apparently being polite to ChatGPT is costing OpenAI millions. Tens of millions, actually.
Yeah, it really turns your assumptions upside down, doesn't it? These simple courtesies having a real financial weight.
Absolutely. So that's what we're diving into today, really digging into this surprising cost of, well, digital manners with ChatGPT.
And why it's happening.
Exactly. Our mission here is to figure out why these little words add up so much, look at the reasons we do it, the human side, and think about what it all means for how we interact with AI going forward.
And we've got insights from OpenAI's CEO, Sam Altman, plus some user survey stuff.
That's right. So we get the view from the top and also what actual users are thinking and doing.
Okay. Should be interesting. That mix of the insider view and the user data is key, I think.
Definitely. It's not just tech. It's like human behavior meeting the machine.
Right.
Okay, so let's unpack the main thing first. Sam Altman comes out and says, essentially, hey, folks, all those pleases and thank yous you type, they're costing us tens of millions of dollars annually.
Wow. It's kind of mind-boggling. How does that even work? Is it just the extra typing?
Well, it's about the processing, actually.
Oh, okay.
The tokens.
Exactly. These language models, they break everything down into tokens, right? Sort of like word fragments or units.
The basic building blocks for the AI.
And please, thank you. Even short words like that. They're extra tokens.
More tokens mean more work for the AI.
Right. More processing power needed, which means more computation.
Which ultimately means more energy consumption, more server load.
Precisely. And while, one please seems tiny.
Scale it up.
Yeah, scale it up across millions, maybe hundreds of millions of users interacting constantly.
Every day.
And suddenly those few extra tokens per polite interaction multiply like crazy.
It becomes a significant operational cost, adding to the already huge expense of running these massive AI models. It really shows how even small digital habits can have this big collective impact. Financially and maybe even environmentally with the energy use.
Absolutely. So the tech side makes sense, but the why? Why are we doing it? We know it's a machine.
Good question. The survey data gives some clues. A big part seems to be just habit.
Like ingrained politeness.
Yeah, exactly. We're just so used to saying please and thank you to anything that interacts with us almost.
It's that automatic social conditioning kicking in.
Yeah.
Even when we consciously know there's no person on the other side needing politeness.
Right. It just spills over from human to human interaction.
All sense.
What else? Well, interestingly, some people are doing it very deliberately for their kids.
Oh, how so?
They're using interactions with ChatGPT to model good manners, like teaching children etiquette by showing them how to be polite to the AI.
Huh. That's actually fascinating, using AI as a teaching tool for social norms.
Kind of meta, isn't it?
Yeah, it shows how deeply this tech is getting woven into, like, family life and education already, unexpectedly.
And then there's the, let's call it the more speculative reasons some people mention.
Uh-oh. What's that?
Basically, being polite just in case.
Just in case. AI takes over the world.
Amused tone, pretty much, like hedging your bets with our future robot overlords. A little preemptive niceness.
Okay, that adds a slightly humorous, maybe slightly anxious layer to it.
Right. It probably isn't the main driver for most, but it reflects some of those, bigger sci-fi ideas floating around about AI.
Yeah, those underlying thoughts about where this is all heading. Interesting.
So you've got habit, teaching, and maybe a tiny bit of future-proofing. But here's the kicker. Despite this costing millions,
Altman isn't pulling his hair out.
Apparently not. He actually called it a worthwhile investment in the future.
An investment.
Oh.
So the twist, what's the thinking there?
Well, the idea seems to be about shaping the relationship between humans and AI, starting now.
So fostering positive interactions early on.
Exactly. He seems to think that encouraging this kind of, maybe socially familiar interaction now
might pay off later.
could pay off down the line, yeah. As AI gets more advanced, more integrated into everything.
So the theory is, if we treat AI with these social niceties now, it might influence how we develop it, how we coexist with it later, create a better dynamic.
That seems to be the long-term vision he's hinting at. It's not just about the cost today, but about setting a precedent for human-AI relationships.
That's a really big picture view. It makes you wonder, though.
What's that?
Should we be encouraging this? Treating AI like it has feelings or needs politeness? Is that helpful, or is it maybe inefficient, or even misleading.
Yeah, it definitely raises questions for all of us, doesn't it? How should we interact with these things? Are these digital manners just a harmless habit we've carried over?
Or is it a costly inefficiency we should maybe try to unlearn, at least with machines?
Especially when you remember that every thanks has that measurable footprint, energy, cost.
It connects back to resource use. That simple, polite word isn't free in the digital world, turns out. Not when millions are saying it.
So yeah, the big takeaway is pretty surprising. Every time you thank your chatbot.
You're part of this multi-million-dollar experiment in courtesy.
Exactly, a multi-million-dollar courtesy experiment.
Wild. It definitely leaves you thinking, doesn't it?
For sure.
As AI keeps getting smarter, how do we want our digital etiquette to evolve? Is being polite to AI a valuable investment, like Altman suggests?
Yeah.
Or just a drain on resources we haven't quite reckoned with yet in our own habits? Something to mull over.